Good morning and welcome to Kramer's Corner with a daily technical update. Today's version is from from my home office due to I'm having a bit of a cold, so I hope you can understand what I'm saying. I have a little bit of a blocked nose. All right, let's start with the S&P 500 sell-off yesterday from the 44.55 resistance or support after it broke down and now it's resistance. And very close to test the 4400, but that's not really a support. It's just a round number, so to speak, and they're not necessarily support levels. 43.40, as you can see here, is the next support, and that's probably where we got where we headed. We have the RSI below 40. So we are in a confirmed downtrend, no question about that, and we could move lower in coming days and weeks. Nasdaq 100, 14,750 is the next support around that level, but we could drop down all the way to the 38.2 retracement, and the support here around 14,250, 300 level. Also bearish RSI, so seems quite heavy. The Seng index, it's really taking each support step by step, more or less. But what is interesting is that it's jumped from the support here at 18,000. It actually touched it, dipping below 18,000 and then moved back higher. So there are some bargains hunters coming in there, lifting it up to back to this resistance level here. The trend is still down, but it's not unusual to see a rebound or counter action after such a heavy sell-off. I think maybe we could see a little bit of bounce further to 18,500 before selling pressure is likely to resume. In Europe, we have DAX is still a little bit resilient, so it seems like it's still holding on to this 786 retracement level here. So that's I mean, we are in a downtrend, but there are some resilience here going on. If we look at the AX Amsterdam market, which is a little bit opposite, it's actually testing the support here at 748 at the moment, and we have the 200 moving average coming up. So I think we will see maybe a little bit of a bounce, but we are in a downtrend. AX looks quite weak, and it's also turned around on the weekly chart. The Belgium market, we are drifting lower towards the 618 retracement, just below the 55 moving average, and now the uptrend is actually in danger. Now it's probably not a correction anymore, but we could turn into a downtrend. We're still about the cloud, so there's still a little bit of positivity. Let's remove that one so we better can see it. If we can get the Belgian market back above 55 moving average, then there could be a little bit of upside short term. The CAC40 opened below 7250 support, and that's going to be interesting where we end today. Will we end back above or will we end below? So if we end above, if we could still be caught in this range between 7250 and 7400. So look out for that level right there. On the FX market, euro dollar is drifting lower a little bit. 108.33 is the key support to look out for here. It starts looking heavy. We have the RSI below 40, so it's in a bearish trend or in bearish sentiment, but it hasn't confirmed the downtrend. Whereas the dollar index, it actually closed above the 103.26 yesterday, trading above a little bit, and it's been warning about it for a little bit a while, but it wasn't that convincing, so I wasn't too convinced about it. I still think we could see a little bit of counter action, maybe dipping below the 103 again, maybe before we see the next move higher, but it looks quite strong at the moment, the dollar index. The dollar yen, quite interesting, moving slowly higher day by day, or every other day I would say, and then it pauses a little bit and then move again, and then but the RSI, bullish sentiment, no divergence, 148, which is the 138.2 retracement or projection of this retracement here or correction here. That would be the that would be my first target I would keep an eye on. On the Euro yen, still holding on above the 158. You still have room up to around 160.60, but it looks at the moment a little bit weak. The RSI is above 60, but it's stalling a little bit. Cable or sterling dollar still bounced off these supports down here above the 100, so still range bound, not really doing much, trying to crawl higher, not so convincing, but RSI is still bullish. We still haven't broken out below the cloud, so we are in technically we are still in underlying bullish sentiment, but I would expect a sideways trading here for the next few days. One interesting move that we have seen was in the Aussie dollar market. It's been quite weak lately, selling off heavily, trading around the support at 64, dipping below, actually below to 63, 60, around that level. I think we'll see a little bit of counter trend here the next couple of days, maybe trying to move towards the 65, but the overall trend is down, so be careful out there. It is likely to pick up selling pressure again, even if we get a little bit of a correction. On the metals front, or the commodities, here we have precious metals, the gold spot actually closed below the June low at 1892. We are in a downtrend, confirmed here on the short term. What is interesting to me will be, where does the week end? Where will we close tomorrow, Friday? Will we close above or below the June low? If gold is closing above, then we could see a bounce towards the 1930, possibly a little bit higher, but we are short term in a downtrend. And if we close below, or if gold closes below, then it is in a confirmed downtrend. We still can cling us to the hope that the RSI is still positive. Silver not doing that much. It's starting to move a little bit higher. Sometimes we actually see silver is front running or leading the way for gold quite often, actually. So maybe we should see a bounce in both here, where we have silver towards the 23.10, maybe up to the 255 moving average, so 23.50 resistance area. Copper finding support, also bouncing a little bit. Can it get back above the 370 level? That's going to be interesting, but we are in a downtrend on the short term. Medium term, here on the weekly, testing the lower rising trend line, so that's something to keep an eye on. Also the 200 weekly moving average, but it looks fairly heavy on the short term at least. On the energy front, looking at Brent crude oil, that was sold off heavily after hitting the 88 resistance, now testing the 83 support. I think we could see a dip down to 81, 70, 80, around that level. But what is interesting is that we have the 55, 100 moving average coming up, or the 200 moving lower. So I think we could see a clash between those underlying sentiment and underlying moving averages. They are pointing in each other direction, so there will be a battle going on there, and I think we could be range bound between 80 and 85, possibly up to 88 here for the next couple of weeks. Just quickly looking at the Dutch gas that has been on the move lately. It is still above the cloud. We are in an uptrend. There's no resistance until 50s, but 30, whether we'll get there is debatable, at least on the short term, but I think on the medium term we will get up there. Finally, let's have a look at some of the yields. US 10-year moving higher, very close to test the 432, which is the peak back from last year, and I think we will take it out, possibly moving up. And let's zoom out a little bit. Possibly spiking up to the 161.8 projection at 435, possibly higher. It looks very strong. However, we have the RSI that we would like to see moving higher also. So it's starting a little bit. So it could be stalling the uptrend. So expect a little bit of correction there. And finally, I'll throw that one in. The 2-year, US 2-year, it's breaking out of this triangle-like pattern here, symmetrical triangle-like pattern. Resistance at 5%, that is something that one should look out for. We are in an uptrend, confirmed uptrend, bullish RSI. I think it will be tested here in the next couple of days, 5% and possibly higher. All right, that's all for today. Apologies about my little bit rusty voice and nasal voice, but I hope you got it all. Thank you very much and happy trading.